Hello, my name is Kyson. I am your host here at Is Anyone Listening? Today, I've kind of been taking a stroll down memory lane, thinking about photography, which is I guess kind of a hobby of mine, and it has been for a while. And I was just thinking about some memories that I had with friends from high school. And I pulled out this old album of photos that I took in high school and looked through them, and I decided, hey, why don't I share this with the world? Um, I thought that it would just be cute to take you guys on a stroll down memory lane with me. So before you is a photo album, which consists of photos that I took, film photos that I took, and got developed at CVS in my senior year of high school. If you don't know, when you take Fujifilm photos, and get them developed at CVS, they'll send you a CD with the digital scans of your photos, as well as physical 4x5 prints of your photos. And I decided I wanted to keep them somewhere, so I think a lot of people put them on their walls and stuff. I wanted to have them somewhere more collected and safe, so I got this photo album off Etsy. If by chance a person watches this video, which doesn't usually happen, and wants to know where I got them, you can leave a comment and I'll send you a little message. I don't remember the name of the store off my head, but I can find that. I really liked taking photos on Fujifilm. I think where my love for photography began was with these film photos. I really enjoyed how grounding the practice of taking a photo was. I think when you take a photo of your friends on your phone, it kind of, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it feels very considered. I mean, when you take a photo on your phone, it's really likely that photo is going to make it onto someone's Instagram, and people pose and do things and act in a certain way that feels a little bit unnatural. And I think also taking a photo on your phone can be very stealthy. You can pull it out, snap it, and no one will know. And I just find that photos, when I take them on my phone, I feel really they take me out of a moment, and I can get really considered with them when I have literally infinite amount of takes with a film camera, with a Fujifilm camera, which I used for most of these. You have a limited amount of film, and so you have to know a moment that you want to take a picture of, take it, and then move on. And I feel like it didn't take me away from moments as much as taking photos on my phone would. I think it also brought out a better side of people when I took photos on these cameras as opposed to my phone. And I think really importantly, I like that they exist in an album now that I can show to people. I've showed this to a couple of my friends, some that are in here, some that aren't, and something that I could pass down to generations. My family has some photos from over the years, but nothing too much from when they were really young. My parents grew up in Jamaica, and they didn't really have, not that people in Jamaica don't have cameras, but their families were pretty poor and didn't have a camera to use. So there's not that many photos of them that I have from when they were younger. And I think it would be really cool if I could see photos of my parents for when they were, in high school, having fun with their friends and hanging out, just to see what life was like back then. And so the idea that I have this album of photos that I can then pass to my kids if I decide to have them, and they can look through my memories and see what was happening in my childhood to adolescence, I think it's just a cool idea. So it's I've created a little bit of an heirloom here, which excites me, and I think it's cool. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive in. I'm not really sure why the title of this is in French, but I thought that it looked cool. Not the French, but the book itself. So I bought it. These photos I took in my senior year of high school, which was between 2021 and 2022, at the end of the pandemic. And so you'll notice there are a lot of people that are wearing masks. And okay, when I say end of that's let's charged. I'm not trying to imply that the pandemic is over now, or that COVID is not a thing anymore. It very much is, but it was, I think, towards the end of the scare around it and the all of the restrictions that were in place. And it was towards the end of like when transmission rates were really high. I took most of these photos on a regular Fujifilm disposable camera, but I also took some of them towards the end, which you'll see on a Playmax 15 DLX. I bought that camera on eBay. I kind of still don't know how to use it, but I was able to get some of them to work. This feels like I'm doing like a My Life in Looks video with Vogue. So these are, I think, some of the first photos I took. Hold on. I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable here. Oh, I just knocked this. That's not good. Is this still? So this is just a photo of my room. This is the desk that I'm recording this on right now. I think I was just testing how the camera worked. This photo I took before prom, I think, actually. This is just me taking a selfie in my, or I think this is, I think I might have been trying on this outfit before prom. I was really disappointed with my prom look. It was really simple. My date was wearing purple-ish. My date was my debate partner. Oh my god, it sounds so cringe. Love her dearly though. Shout out Eleanor, I miss you. But my date was my debate partner, and we frequently like would just happen to wear like purple. Like, she would wear like a purple shirt of sorts, and I would wear like a purple tie when I debated, and that kind of just became our thing. And so we decided we would wear something like this to prom. So this, what I hate about this is that the pocket square and the bow tie don't match. But there's me at what, I think I was 18 at this point, getting ready for prom or just trying on my photo, my ensemble. At this point you can also see that I've gotten into Harvard, and there's a the little like flag thing there. I wonder what my computer was open to at this time. I wish I could see that. Cute room. This record player is my brother's now. This is just me also testing out the camera. So this is a picture I took of my sister in her room. I just knocked on her door, and then she opened it, and I just snapped it right away. So it's just kind of a look of surprise on her face. Just me in my mirror. In my senior year of high school, I discovered like theater, performing arts. It wasn't something I did before that year. But it became this huge, amazing like experience for me where I met a lot of queer people and became really close with a lot of people who I wanted to become really close with. Made a bunch of friends and just like got to experience a more queer and like artistic space than I was used to. I was on the costumes crew. I wasn't on stage or anything. But after every like show night, we would go to this place called Silver Diner that I think is a chain of restaurants that I know they're in Maryland and DC. I'm not sure if they're anywhere else. I actually was obsessed with this place. It became like this whole thing. Chef Yipe, if that's how you say his name, is Chef YPE. I was obsessed with him. And they had this menu at Silver Diner that was called the Flexitarian menu, which I found so funny because it was like, oh my goodness, a flexitarian is just a vegetarian that eats meat sometimes. So just basically an omnivore. I thought that was really funny. And so it became like a little inside joke between me and my friends that we were all flexitarians, and that it was this kind of crazy elite lifestyle that like few understood. But this is me, one of my besties, Julia, and someone who I don't talk to anymore for certain reasons, here sipping on milkshakes at Silver Diner. I love this photo. This kind of has a retro vibe to it that I think is really cool. Another thing we would also do, and this is what this photo is about, is the first show night of every show would be a Friday, I think, or maybe a Thursday, but I think it was a Friday. And that day would be called Bond Day, and everyone would dress up like characters in James Bond, which just was code for like really fancy like attire. And so this is what I wore. I look back at it now and I kind of think this is hideous. And you can see that it's COVID times, the masks. The freaking sunglasses I hate. This vest is cute, but I was wearing a navy blue suit with it that I don't think worked. And I don't know why I didn't tuck this in. That didn't work. These are me and some friends in class the day before the show. I went to a cutie little high school in Maryland that's called Richard Montgomery High School. And this is a picture from the parking lot. I think this is so beautiful. It was around sunset. I don't remember really why I was there, but at this time, but it's a really beautiful photo. This is one of my friends just hanging out in the parking lot. This is backstage at I think this show was, I don't remember. It was something about a ghost. Blithe Spirit. That was our fall play that we were putting on. And this is the costumes crew in the costumes room backstage. Someone else took this photo, so I think they didn't frame it correctly, so a bunch of faces are cut off. But these are two of my besties backstage. This is not wine. This is sparkling cider. We were 18. But this is also some backstage moments. Another backstage moment. This was one of the leads in the play, Allison. She's so talented. She's an amazing singer. More backstage moments, more sparkling cider. I love this one. This is my friend Maria. I love her expression in this one. More people from the costumes crew. This is my friend Abla, who I haven't heard from in a while, actually, who was selling roses at the beginning of the play. You could buy roses for people who are working crew and cast. And I actually ended up getting a couple roses, but anonymously, which were just people playing pranks on me, like some of my friends. But I was like convinced that I had some secret admirer, which was like a fun fantasy to play into for a little bit. Miss her. This is the theater. I forgot to turn the flash on in this photo, but this is the theater. More backstage pics. This was a concept that I orchestrated. I thought it was going to look so cool. Basically, and you can see how confused my friend Chloe is in this photo, because she was like, what? I got some of my friends together and I was like, I want to take this interesting film photo. So I'm going to take the door and I'm going to use it as a separator to look like there are two different rooms. And then I'm going to use one of the phone props and pretend like I'm calling someone else and have them like pick up the phone on the other hand. But like, I think my two friends, Julia and Chloe, were really confused by this. So they kind of just look like, what's going on? Like, it was just me being kind of a little crazy. But I love my little expression in this one. It's fun. This is us looking a little menacing backstage. Love that photo. Another photo at Silver Diner. There was a funny moment that had happened before this, but I forget what happened. What happened there? Some more of us at a table at Silver Diner. This is just a photo of my computer. I was listening to an album that I really love by a duo called Between Friends, and it's called I Love When You Shine. These are my COS Porta Pro headphones. I love those headphones. This is my cutie dog. His name is Roscoe. He'd recently gotten groomed and shaved. He usually has longer hair than this, but this is just him hanging out on my bed. So photogenic in this one. He looks so good. This one, he's sleeping. He looks so cute. Or I think he might have been a little bit awake. Or I might have woken him up because I took this photo. But he was sleeping, I think. And then this is also him, up and ready, back in photo pose. He's so cute. Oh my god, this is so fun. So my high school had this tradition, and it's like not everyone really did it. It was like not like a big thing. Like when you think tradition, it's like it was something that some people did, but it wasn't super crazy. But basically, I'm not even sure if this is true, but I was told that my the what's it called, the person that what's it called when the person who would work at the like our attendance officer, God rest her soul, she was a very sweet woman. She's alive. She's not dead, if I dismiss her. Basically, there's a senior thing that there was a day that was called Philly Cheesesteak Day or something like that, and basically if you could go show up to school, check in with her, and then leave school and drive all the way to Philadelphia from Maryland, which is where this high school was, get a cheesesteak and bring her back one. By the end of the day, you would have all of your like absences excused. So it was like, oh my god, Philly cheesesteak day, like let's do it. I honestly wasn't sure that I was gonna do it, but then I was texting my friend Jonathan, and he was gonna go, so I was like, sure, I'll go with you. So we drove up to Philadelphia. It was just me and a couple people in his car, it was really fun. We went to this place called Gino's Steaks. You can see it here, but we didn't actually eat there. Some of my friends ate there. We didn't actually eat there. We ended up eating somewhere else. But what I love about these photos is that they feel very like dated. Like they look like, I mean, if the cars weren't there, I feel like this could be taken easily like in the 2000s or maybe even the 90s. I love the area here felt kind of nostalgic for that era of time, so I like that. And this car even, I feel like, kind of evokes a little bit of a nostalgia. But hey, some friends walking across the street to go to Gino's. I haven't talked to this guy in a while. He was nice though. I really love this photo of him. I think he looks really good, and I like that it's like kind of ephemeral. Like he's passing by and looking at the camera, smiling. I think that's really cute. It's me and some friends. I look so bad in this photo. And this is where we actually ate, and I don't actually remember the place, so maybe there's a photo of it in here, and I can tell you what it was. But this is where we actually ate our cheesesteaks. I am not gonna lie, I'm not a big cheesesteak fan. I didn't find it very good, to be honest with you. Anyway, this is a photo of me and someone I used to be friends with, taking a photo, pointing up at the Geno Steak sign. I love the building; it's really beautiful. Again, I just love the colors of this film really turned out well. These are some of the friends that I drove with in the car. No flash. This is us playing basketball. I got this shot right underneath the hoop. Charles going up for a layup. Some more people outside. Insomnia Cookies, which is like literally right there. Also in Philadelphia. Me and my friend Julia in Philadelphia. She looks so good in this photo. We had this joke that we were emo, and so we would always do that little symbol, that little sign there. Oh, it was Pat's Steaks or something. Pat King's Steaks. That's the name of the place I actually ate at. This is me ordering at the window. Pat's King of Steaks. That's the place. Yes. Okay, yeah, that was our Philadelphia trip. We actually never ended up making it back to school, so we were just absent for the whole day. But I had such bad senioritis in high school, and it's not even senioritis. Like, to be honest with you, it was a difficult year for me with there's a lot of stuff going on, and I was really burnt out in a lot of ways. And so I was missing school for a lot of different reasons, but I kind of would just say it was senioritis, and a part of it was, but a part of it wasn't. So I was just missing a lot of school, and my school had this. My school district had previously had this rule where if you missed a certain amount of classes, you would fail a class. You wouldn't be able to graduate. But then they got rid of that during COVID, so I was like, oh, bet. And I just missed so many days of school. I was almost a part-time student. It was crazy. This is photos of stuff in my house. This is my brother. This is Roscoe, and you can see him when he has his full. So actually, I finished recording this video. And I went through this book and then a whole other one, and then I found out that it actually stopped halfway through this one. So I'm just gonna re-record this, and yeah, okay, I'm not mad, I promise. Anyway, yes, it's my brother. This is my dog Roscoe. You can see him when he has his full head of hair, his full mane. This is my grandma washing some dishes. My dad outside on the deck. I think I just took these photos to finish up the roll of the rest of the film, the photos that I had on this camera, because I wanted to get them developed. This, I think I actually wrote on the back of this. Just, yes, 2022, bedroom. I wrote on the back of all of these photos. I don't know if I already said that. In Sharpie and pen, which actually you shouldn't do. You should write on them in pencil. So if you were thinking about doing this and labeling your photos like I have, don't do it in Sharpie or pen. Do it in pencil. But anyway, here are things I love: a film camera, my friends, which is represented by the prom photo booth photo, reading, which is represented by the Sylvia Plath poetry book. Music, which is represented by the Cos Porta Pro headphones that are on there, and 420, which is represented by the lighter. That's so funny. It's cute though, just like a little time capsule, a photo time capsule, just some things I was appreciating at the moment. This photo I think is actually in this album, so we'll see it. Oh my god, so now we're in prom photo territory. In Montgomery County Public Schools, which is where I went to school, there's this tradition, and also the private schools in the area, and I think in DC also, there's this tradition for people to go take their prom photos at the Lincoln Memorial, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. So we were driving to DC to go do that. So this is my friend Jonathan, who drove us up to Philadelphia, also was driving the car. This is us on our way to DC. This is a photo of a guy I had this crazy crush on in high school. He looked really good that day. I like the white suit that he wore. No one else did white. He was different. Honestly, I wish I had done white. I feel like that would have looked better on me. I really love this photo of me looking at my friend Blossom's ass and us just posing. It was just fun. It's a fun photo, a lot of personality in it. This is us at the actual prom dance. And here's the photo I was talking about. It's my one. I think this is the first photo of Daniela in here. This is one of my best friends, Daniela. I love her. Also, one of my best friends, Julia, but you've seen her already. Actually, fun fact about this night. It was really fun, but but the next day we found out that someone who was in our prom group had COVID, had tested positive. Wait 1 second, mommy. Okay. So this was a really fun night. No. So this is a really fun night. Well, okay. Take 3. So this day was pretty fun. The night was less fun. Really underwhelming for reasons I don't really want to go into right now. But the day itself was fun. The dance was I had a good time at the dance. But actually the next day or a couple days later we found out that one of the guys that went to prom with our group, it was kind of like a big extended friend group situation. Like we all kind of took photos together at the Lincoln Memorial, and one of the guys that went with went with us had tested positive for COVID, I think like 2 days before, and instead of staying home, which another one of our friends actually did because she also tested positive, and then she had to miss her prom. He decided to lie and not even wear a mask or anything around us and go to prom with us, and ended up giving like almost everyone in the group COVID, and their parents and grandparents, everyone that was there. He didn't tell his best friend who was there with him, didn't tell his girlfriend who went with him, and almost I think infected her too. Like gave us all COVID, and it was just a weird thing. I honestly don't really understand why he did that. Like I think it was just a weird era, but he did end up giving almost everyone here COVID. I actually didn't get it though. I went through this period of time where I was like just kind of immune to COVID. I think maybe I might have had it before and I was asymptomatic and I didn't know. That's the only explanation that makes sense, because there were so many times where I was in such close quarters with COVID and I never tested positive. I didn't test positive for COVID until later on the summer after this year, when I went to the Weekend concert, and I got COVID there presumably. Anyway, yeah, prom was fun though. This is the last day of school. Oh my goodness, this is Mr. Thomas's first period history class. I got everyone to take a photo there. It was so cute. And he was a great teacher and inspired in me a love of philosophy. He taught history first period, and then third period he taught me philosophy. And I was skipping school so much in high school, as I said, so much so that like I would sometimes like miss the beginning of the day and come in like halfway through the day, or like later on in the day. So there were times where I would miss his first period class but come in time for his third period class. And at first he would be like, wait, where were you during your first period? But then I would like miss the first period so often that he just became, or just even like days of school so often, that he would like be just really happy to see me whenever I was there. So when I was in third period, he'd be like, oh my god, it's so good to see you. Like, I'm happy that you came in today. So shout out Mr. Thomas. He's a really good teacher and really inspired in me a love of philosophy. Here is my graduation day. This is my friend Upasana. Miss her. She's in India right now. This is I don't really talk to her anymore, but my friend at the time, Ariana, she's so beautiful. It's just some other people that I knew. We lined up on the track to graduate on our football field, which is where we held our graduation. It was so hot that day. I remember feeling a little insecure that I didn't have like that many tassels or like medals or anything. Like, look at Ariana, she has so many. But I was like literally going to Harvard, like, girl. And I look at this photo and I don't notice that at all. But that just popped into my head. Like, I remember being a little insecure. I look terrible in this photo though. This is a photo of my friend Hannah giving a speech at graduation. For some reason, I thought my film camera was going to capture her giving that speech, which it obviously did not. You can't really make out that that's her up there, but it's a like cute photo of all of us in the crowd, like sitting and waiting for our diplomas. It was so long, it was so hot. Oh my god. This is me actually in the line to go get my diploma. I remember actually as I was walking across the stage, my my like this little gold thing here and my hat fell off, like blew off because it was very windy at this point. And I didn't notice that. All right, no, maybe not my hat, but my little like gold thing fell off. And I didn't notice that it fell off, so I kept walking, and I thought people were cheering for me. They were like, "Kyson, Kyson," and I was like, "What? Like what? Oh, look, these people cheering for me." And then I like they were like, "No, like Kyson," and I was like, "What? This is weird." So I look back, and they're pointing, and they were pointing to the fact that my that my like gold thing had fallen off. So I picked it up and went and put it back on and got my diploma and walked off the stage. It was a funny moment. This is us after graduation, some of my friends taking photos together. My friend Mirabella's mom took these both orientations, landscape and portrait. She like takes photos, so she was really committed to that. There's Hannah right there actually, who was giving the speech. And Julia looking confused. Oh my god, this is in Annapolis. Let me give you some backstory on that. Basically, I went to Annapolis, I want to say the summer before my junior year, or maybe it was my senior year, I don't remember, for a protest. I was involved in the Sunrise Movement, which is a climate justice organization, and we went to a protest. We went to a protest in Annapolis, to protest. I forgot exactly what we were protesting, to be honest with you, but something that our governor at the time, Larry Hogan, was doing. And it was like we went to wake him up, like it was like at 5 a.m. or early, like really early in Annapolis, in the governor's house. And I remember when I went there, it was just so beautiful. Like, especially at sunrise, the city was asleep, and it was like it's very like the architecture. It's a colonial looking town, and it's so beautiful. And after going there and seeing the sunrise there, I was like, oh my god, I have to come back to this place. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's so cool. And I was telling anyone who would listen, all of my friends, how much I loved Annapolis and how beautiful it was and how much I wanted to go back. So I tried to make it like an annual thing, like going to Annapolis every summer. And the summer before this summer, so the summer before my senior year, this is the summer after my senior year, I went to Annapolis with my friend Julia and my friend Val, who didn't go on this time. But we went again the summer after my senior year, and this is us in Annapolis. Actually, us three, we ran a student organization called MoCo Against Brutality. It was an organization that was trying to like prevent and stop police brutality in our county, Montgomery County, which is abbreviated to MoCo. We did a lot of work about getting police out of schools. We worked with like a bunch of student organizations and just organizations in this huge coalition, and we were like kind of successful at it. The issue was like, and I'm not gonna get too into this, but like the student resource officers in our public schools were like harassing and brutalizing and making students of color, like, well, really like black students and Latino students uncomfortable, and we're targeting them and brutalizing them and harassing them and stuff. So that had to go. We started the organization like a little bit after George Floyd's murder, so it was kind of around what some people call the racial reckoning. There was not much reckoning that was done. Anyway, this is us in Annapolis. Pretty pictures. I love this photo so much. I think Daniela and Julia Daniela looks so stunning in this photo, and Julia too. And I like that it's off kilter, like a little bit off center. I love the colors of the photo. I love how happy and smiley and like pretty they look. I just think it's really cute and beautiful. We went to this restaurant called Chicken Ruth's, which I also went to the first time I was there, or I guess the first time I made it like an actual trip that wasn't like protest related there. Good food, I recommend if you're ever in the area. And the waiters and the waitresses there are so kind and friendly. I think I actually wrote on the back of this one that there was a really friendly restaurant. Yeah, friendliest, most bubbly waitresses. Shout out to the one that took this photo. She was so kind. I remember her being just so friendly and kind. Yeah. Fun time. This is taken at, I think the place is called Brown Mustache Coffee. It's this bookstore / coffee shop that's in Annapolis. It's so cute. The food and coffee there are so good. I think they have like when I went there they had a lavender latte that was really good. And they also have this cutie garden in the back of the store that you can go in and like read. Excuse me, sorry. You can go to and read and like hang out. It's really cute garden back there. Me and my friends that I went with, I brought an issue of Vogue because I was really obsessed with Vogue when I was in high school, and we looked through it and analyzed it and talked about it. I was really obsessed with that magazine, and I guess that was my love for photography budding. So my friend Julia making friends with a duck. It was so cute, and it was Pride Month. We went in June, so you can see all of the pride flags around here. Isn't it so beautiful? If you're ever in Maryland and you have time, Annapolis is a really gorgeous place to be in the summer, especially. And there's a waterfront too, and there's a lot of different like places to visit. We went to this garden. Oh, I forget what it was called. But there's like this house and garden that we went to that's so beautiful. I highly recommend. If you really are gonna go and you really want to know, you can leave a comment to like if someone watches this video and it happens also to be in Annapolis. But if you want an itinerary of things to do, I can give you an itinerary of things to do. It's a cute place and it's like a nice little day trip location, I have to say. Small, quaint, colonial, like historic district town situation. Anyway, okay, now we're at Beach Week time. So basically there's this tradition that I don't know. I know that it's in Montgomery County and in DC. Like in the DMV schools do, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I don't know where else does this. I think it's also a thing in other places, but basically I know at least in Montgomery County public schools there's this tradition that after you graduate, or sometimes you do it like right before you graduate, because sometimes there's a gap between like when your last day of school is and when your graduation is. So it happens at different times for different people, but around graduation time, we did this after, but some people do it before. You rent a house in a beach nearby, with just your friends, and you go there for a week, and you just like party, like hang out. Some people don't party, but we did. Like you hang out, drink, and smoke, and just like it's kind of a taste of like college. You just go crazy when there's no parents involved. So you'll go to like probably like Ocean City, which is in Maryland, or like Rehoboth, or Bethany Beach, which is in Delaware, which is where we went. And it's just like a fun time, no parents, just time to like go crazy and hang out with your friends before you all go to college. So it was really fun. We went to Bethany Beach. It's a photo of it here. There was some drama that happened there, as there naturally is, but it was a really fun time too. And wholesome. It wasn't just us like going crazy. Actually, it wasn't. We did a lot more than just drink and smoke and like go crazy. It was like a lot of fun times. A lot of movie nights. We cooked food together. It was really fun. Here's two of my friends on the boardwalk and at the beach. These guys didn't stay with us, but two of our friends drove up for like 2 days to come stay, which was fun. I really like this photo. It's kind of I didn't use a flash, so I think it's really great that I was able to get this much light in a dark car. I think that they were driving me to this restaurant that we went to go eat at here in this photo. If you look closely, this is the house that we stayed in, but you can't really get that much of it. There's like it's a bunch of people. We had like maybe like 9-10 people in that house, or 12 maybe. It was a lot, but it was so fun. Oh, this is one of my photos. One of my favorite photos I've ever taken. This is my friend Val. We went to the beach at night this night. I think it just encapsulates like a very like spontaneous and fun energy. I remember taking this photo thinking it was gonna be so good at the sunset, and it ended up not being. I mean, I think it's cute, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. Actually, this night was crazy. What happened was, I had this friend who was like, you go in one house to beach week, but like you'd usually go to the same beach as like a bunch of people in your grade, a lot of your like other friend groups. So like there were other houses that like you go and visit during beach week to like party with them, hang out with them, whatever. And so two of my friends were staying in Bethany Beach also, and she was gonna have a party, but there's this drama where like people thought that she had called the police on a party that happened a couple months ago. And so the girl whose party she called the police on, and the people ended up getting like arrested and cited or something at the party. The girl whose party my friend apparently called the police on, allegedly called the police on, got wind that my friend was gonna have a party this night, and then said like, "Oh my god, hell no! Like if she calls the police, if she has this party, I'm calling the police on her." So she had to cancel the party, and it was so sad because me and my friends all got ready, and put glitter on our eyes, and like we're really excited to go to this party because we'd been like up until this point. I mean, me and my friend Julia had gone to like our other friend's house, and like partied there, but like most of the partying that we did was at our house. And so this is the first night that we're gonna go to another house and like have this whole fun time, and it was like a fun little outing, and then it got canceled, and I felt so sad that we didn't get to do that. But then we ended up just going to the beach at night instead. But then when we went there, we almost got jumped. I think it was like we what happened was we ran into this like we just made friends on the beach as one does. Just like this random group of people were there, just like hanging out, doing crazy stuff, and we were like, hey, and we started talking to them, and then we became friends with them, and it was just a funny time, and they were like really funny, but it was a bunch of like white straight people, and this group is like the group that I went to beach week with was like a pretty diverse group. I mean, yeah, there was a pretty diverse group of people, and they were like all white, and a lot of them were like men. It was like giving kind of like straight white men, kind of homophobic, kind of a little racist. One of them called me Tyrone. It was just like it was a weird vibe, but they were really funny though. And but then my friend Mirabella comes up to me and is like, "We have to go." And I was like, "What?" But I just listened to her because I was like, "Girl, you know what you're doing." So we just left. And apparently, what happened is they were trying to jump this guy right here. I guess they thought that he was gay because he's not, but he was wearing glitter on his eyes, because we all were, and I think they thought that he was gay. So they like got to the either side of him to try and jump him, and my friend peeped that and heard them say like, let's get him," and they lined up on either side of him, and she like went and grabbed him and was like, "We have to go," and took us, and we got in the car and left, and they followed us actually off the beach onto the boardwalk. It was kind of, I was like, whoa, that was crazy. So it was a crazy night. Almost jumped. But otherwise fun. Us at the beach. I didn't take as many photos as I would have liked to my friend Val, my friend Victoria, on the boardwalk. This is our last day saying goodbye. This is some of my friends walking off the boardwalk, and this is my friend Anthony in his car, driving home. Yeah, that was such a fun time. It was a really fun time. Here's some Polaroids I took of myself, and I think I was getting ready to go on a trip to New York with some of my friends. So I was taking photos to see what my outfit was gonna look like. This is my room at the time. These are really cunty photos. I really like these. The sunglasses, which I have lost. I miss these sunglasses. I actually brought them with me to college, and I lent them to one of my friends during Halloween, and then she lost them, and I was so mad because I really loved them. But they were like $5 at Kohl's. Like, it wasn't that serious, but I love these sunglasses. R.I.P. I miss them. These photos are from a day that me and my friends went to. We went to this like swimming hole that was in this random neighborhood in the woods behind some like house, or in like some random neighborhood, and it was really cool. We spent the day there just swimming, and there was this other friend group that was there, like they were like freshmen. They were kind of crazy and weird, but it was a fun day. This is an accidental photo that was taken on someone's Polaroid of me and my friend at the time, Faylene, and this is me and my friend at the time, Mihal, in front of the swimming hole. I remember he let me keep this photo, and I was really appreciative. He was a nice guy. He's alive. I don't know why I'm saying was. I just haven't talked to him since high school. But I remember I wanted the photo, and I think he wanted it too, but he's like, no, you can keep it. It was nice. These are my friends Daniela and Julia, at my friend Julia's graduation party. This photo, the Polaroid was not kind to the black people in this photo. You could barely see us. And this is my friend Martinique and I in my car we were celebrating her last day before she went to college in Amsterdam. Yeah. Okay, so now we're moving on to the photos that were taken with the Pleomax camera. Pleomax, I don't know how to say it. This camera, you can tell, was better quality than Fujifilm. I think I used the same. Well, I don't know what Fujifilm, what ISO that film is actually, to be honest with you, but I think this is a 400 ISO film. The grain is so much finer. I really love these photos. This is my room. At the time in high school, a little messy as it normally was. Oh my god, I think you can actually see the Fujifilm camera box right there. And me so proud to go to Harvard, putting a little flag up. I really love these two photos. At this point I didn't know anything really about film photos, so I didn't know that or filmography, so I didn't know that you couldn't open the back of the camera when there was film in it. So I opened it like several times. And so there's a lot of light damage on these photos from when I opened the camera. But I think it actually worked out and made the photos like look really interesting and cool. Like this photo I took around sunset on a walk around my neighborhood, and this is like a woods around where I live. And I like love how eerie this photo looks. Like it kind of gives like Blair Witch Project. But it also looks really calm and peaceful. And I love the colors, like the color of the light damage, and also I think it's might have been the sunset at the time, and I don't know. I think it's just the mood and the colors of this photo are really beautiful. I love this one so much as well. It's a photo of a road near my neighborhood that I was walking along, and I guess they didn't scan this correctly, so they ended up scanning two photos at once. This is why you honestly don't send your film to CBS. But I like how this one turned out anyway, because I think it just gives like it really does encapsulate the energy in photo. It's really dynamic despite the fact that it's a static image, and it encapsulates the energy of just kind of wandering around my neighborhood and the surrounding areas. It's a pretty quiet place, just a bunch of cars and highway sound, and like people, the occasional person walking around. And you can see, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but you can see right here like the outline of a person crossing a street. So I love this photo. I think it's just really beautiful and encapsulates the energy of my neighborhood very well. And also the colors resulting from the light damage and stuff I think are really beautiful. So they're happy accidents, and this is one of them. This is a picture of the walking path and highway near where I live. I think these photos are really beautiful. This is an overpass, a bridge over the highway. This is like I took it through like some bars. I think it's really beautiful. It was a really gorgeous day too. This is in the summer. These are some streets that are near my house, a little bit of a walking distance away. So just like extended neighborhood, I guess, photos. I'm not going to show you the next slide, because the next page, because I think there's a picture of my house on there, and I think it probably wouldn't be wise to show a picture of my house on the internet. So I'm not going to do that. I think there's some stuff on this last page. Oh, damn, I can't. Okay. And then last but not least, these are just some photos of my room and my house. This is marked by the light damage, but I think the colors of this are still really beautiful, so I kept them. And that, folks, is my 2021 to 2022 in film photos and Fujifilm photos. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really enjoy this practice of taking photos. I think this practice of like making photo books and keeping physical copies of the photos that you take is something I want to see come back into style. I don't know. I just find it hard to imagine that like the thousands of photos that you take on your phone are photos that you'll like really look back on in 20 years. Like, I mean, you lose your phone, you break your phone, you lose the photos, unless you have like you're consistently like keeping them on a drive or something. I feel like it's unlikely that a lot of those will last. I think it's also unlikely that you'll look at them that often. And I really like the practice of having physical photos to look back on and reminisce on. I don't know where all of the photos on my phone will be in the next 20 years, but I know exactly where these will be in my house, wherever it is that I'm living, in this binder for me to look at, and maybe my family and kids to look at. I like also that it's something you can show to your friends and show to people in your life that come visit you. Like these came with me to my dorm in college, and when people would come over to my room, I would show them these photos and let them look through it. And I don't know. I think there's a lost art, a lost beauty in the practice of keeping photo books. I think they're really fun and cool, and the physical existence of these memories means a lot to me. So I don't know. If you watch this video, by chance this makes it somewhere to a person, I think this is a practice that you totally should take up. I really like it. Anyway, this is anyone listening? My name is Kyson, and this has been my 2021 to 2022 in Fujifilm photos. Thank you for watching. Bye.